SuperTalk Mississippi Media production.
I'm Steve Azar, and I'm on the other side of the microphone, meaning I'm asking the questions this time, and oh, have mercy for the airwaves. I spent 20 years in Music City, wrote and made some hits, traveled the world, and then moved my family back to the birthplace of American music and where the magnolia trees prosper. And now every time I put my feet on Mississippi soil, when I'm off the road, well, I'm at peace. On this show, it's all about hearing the stories straight from the mouths of the friends I've made along the way, their journey to success. Heck, there might be someone on, I don't even know, but you know how us Mississippi types are. We tend to take well to new company. In a Mississippi Minute, all 60 of them. I'm Steve Azar. It's just like that muddy river, moving slow. Ain't no worries, it's how life goes, baby. In a Mississippi Minute. That's right.
Welcome, folks, to In a Mississippi Minute. Steve Azar here. Grateful for you tuning in, allowing me to learn to listen as I go. I just love that. I'm working on it. It's a difficult task at times, but on this show, I hope I'm getting there. And I appreciate you guys listening to me for into almost 8 years now. Not over your 8 years. I'm in the middle of it. And grateful for my team at SuperTalk for allowing me to hang out and get to know folks like today's guest. Visit Mississippi.org. We've been partners and teammates since basically I started this show and before. It's been a wonderful blessing to be with them. I believe in what they're selling, which is get folks to come visit us. And they may never leave, and that's the game that we play here in Mississippi. Great hospitality. Speaking of hospitality, as part of this man's fabric, as part of his deal with the Benedictine Oblate, he's an award-winning author, speaker, and strategic business coach. This is his 12th time to be on my show, by the way, because I needed some therapy, so you guys are going to have to stick it out with me. Drawing up on nearly 40 years of business experience and the wisdom of the Rule of Benedict, he incorporates the principles of strategic mindset, stability, community, excellence, and profound hospitality into actionable tools for success for your businesses and your life. As the author of the acclaimed books, including like Sell Like a Monk, The Sweet Spot, where business strategy, positive psychology, and faith principles converge, and Ultimate Breakthrough Planning, and his upcoming book, More Thriving, Less Grumbling. I love that. I can't wait to hear more about when that baby's out. His work empowers purpose-driven entrepreneurs, visionary leaders, mission-focused organizations to achieve strategic growth and long-term success. And the list goes on, and he's sitting here going like, please get it over with, and we just talk. Please welcome in for the 12th time, my pal, dear pal, the monk guy, Mike Farrell. Mike,
hey,
I
Steve.
just, what do you want?
I'm glad somebody's keeping track of this. I couldn't remember how many times it had been now.
Yeah, 12 times. That's a dozen. We got to.
I know. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm gonna have to give you a free one for a baker's dozen, I guess, huh?
Oh, I like it. I like it. Well, we appreciate you doing this. I know that you're in South Dakota where the weather's probably a little bit cooler than it is here in Mississippi.
Actually, today it feels like Mississippi.
Oh.
It's going to be 90 plus and about 80% humidity. So it is thick out there today. 90
plus. That's air conditioned here. What are you talking about? I just got a chill when I heard 90 plus. All right. So I've been getting your newsletters, obviously, on Wednesday. Folks, you can go to themonkguy.com, hit follow, sign up for his newsletters. I'm going to have to spit this out. You'll get them every Wednesday, and it's awesome. Awesome, awesome. A lot of free knowledge there. This past one, I really dug from the principles of intention. Now that the 4th of July is over, we find ourselves at the middle of the year. It's time to take inventory of what happened thus far and what we'd like to happen in the rest of the year. It's time to pause. The art of pausing is a countercultural act in a world addicted to urgency, noise, and nonstop motion. Yet in the monastic tradition and in the lives of most grounded, impactful leaders, pausing is not a break from leadership. It's the beginning of it. I'm going to stop there because there's a whole lot more. And yet crazy.
Well, I think that one of the things, if I look back over my journey over the last 40 plus years, one of the things that I have found is that when I get the most clarity in what I'm doing or what I need to do, when I'm really thinking about what needs to happen, the best thing that I can do is take a break. Sometimes I do that, sometimes it's just a short period of time. Sometimes I go do a 3-day silent retreat. And, it's being able to pause and take that time that really helps us find clarity. I think one of the biggest challenges that we have, as I said in that article, one of the biggest challenges we have is we're so consumed by the noise out there. It's constant. It's a barrage. It's social media. It's emails. It's, all of the stuff that's going on in the world today. And to be able to take that pause and take that quiet time to think about where we are, where we want to go, and how we're going to get there is really, really important. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't take that time to do that. And for me, like I said, what I've found is that when I'm able to be really clear on what it is I need to do, it typically comes from that time where I've found that quiet part. And, we've talked on this show before, Steve, about the monastic idea of statio. And statio is when the monks or the nuns go to prayer, the first thing they do is they gather in an area outside of the chapel, and they pause. And it's that getting our minds right for what's going to happen next. And you'll see that, we've talked about athletes a lot. You'll see that with professional athletes where before they go, I love it when sometimes you get the pictures of the athletes in the locker room and the guys are zoned in and they're just focused on what's going to happen. It's that quiet pause. What they're doing, they don't know it, but what they're doing is they're doing statio.
I love it when I see on the putting green, it's a big putt and they're in a tournament on Sundays, and they're coming down the stretch. And they're feeling a little bit of the pressure, and I like it when they're squatting in the catcher's position right behind the ball, and you can see them drop their head down and close their eyes. And it's almost like, what's going on there? You're envisioning what you need to do to perform. They're breathing. A lot, free throw line, you breathe. A lot of times that you take these deep breaths and all that, you're taught to just exhale, which allows you to pause. So let me ask you this. The bigger the obstacle, the bigger the curveball, the longer the pause? Or can you get consistent with the pause?
Some of it obviously depends on urgency. The bigger the curveball, if the decision has to be made relatively quickly, you might not have the opportunity to go on a 3-day silent retreat. I think that certainly the more you can pause and really discern, and that's the one thing I think most people think that decision making and discernment are the same thing. And discernment is the process of decision making. The decision making is what happens at the end, but the idea of discernment is really understanding what's in front of us, what's the options, what are the hurdles, and then what is the decision going forward? And that pause allows us to do that.
I think my listeners, a lot of them are in their car going like, Mike the Monk Guy Farrell has drank all of the Monk's beer. Because I'm just wondering, as far as real life circumstances, and you just said something a second ago, you've taken 3 days to make a decision. Now, I'm good about 24. I had a great mentor, Harry Bud Nelson, who was, I've mentioned him before. I'm staring at him right now in front of me. He's to my left. He's with me in spirit. Worked with me for a lot of years. One of the greatest men in the music business, or period in life I ever met. And he would say, Steve, you're a little upset. I said, I'm not upset. He goes, yeah, you are a little upset. I want you to take 24. And I want to table this to tomorrow. And if you feel this way tomorrow at this time, then let's decide what we're going to do. And every single time I'd get there and I'd go, I don't feel the same. I'm good. And he goes, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
And now let's take a quick break because I want to stay here with this pause thing for a second.
Sure.
Because I want to talk about social media and the craziness of having to post something the minute, with a regret written all over it, and the deletes and all that. So Mike the Monk Guy Farrell, go to themonkguy.com, follow him, check out his newsletter, become part of that Wednesday delivery that you're going to get in your email. It's going to help change your week, and it's going to, especially hump day during your week, you sort of need to be refocused. And I'm telling you, these newsletters can help greatly. Guess what else? America's birthplace of music. Where'd it come from? Mississippi. I'm Steve Azar. We'll be right back.
Doing it right. I saw the light. Sun came up in the middle of the night. Been doing it wrong for so long. I sure ought to know what it finally feels like. I sure ought to know what it finally feels like. I sure ought to know what it finally feels like. You've been doing it. I'm doing it right.
I'm Gianna Gelosi with your Fox True Crime Minute. The long-awaited trial of Donna Adelson is getting underway. The matriarch of a wealthy Florida family is accused of being the mastermind behind a murder-for-hire plot to kill her son-in-law, Dan Markle. On the morning of July 18th, 2014, the 41-year-old Florida State University professor was shot twice in the head at point-blank range at his Tallahassee home after bringing his kids to preschool. Prosecutors say Adelson, her son Charlie, and his former girlfriend conspired to kill Markle because he wouldn't let her daughter moved to Miami with their two young sons. Wendy Adelson was never charged in connection with her husband's murder. In 2023, Charlie was found guilty of first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and solicitation of murder, the same charges his mom faces. Donna was arrested at Miami International Airport as she and her dentist husband were about to board a one-way flight to Vietnam. There's more on this story at foxnews.com or subscribe to the Fox True Crime Podcast. I'm Gianna Gelosi with your Fox True Crime Minute.
You already
water, and we're in too deep.
I love saying the word Mississippi. It's the greatest pronunciation of a state that you can have. I can tell you that. And the world knows it. And we are one Mississippi. And I'm grateful for writing our state song more than you guys will ever know. If you hadn't heard it, please check it out. And if you're a school out there that I haven't visited, along with Sarah Frances Hardy, if she's listening, my illustrator, you never know when we can show up and come sing with the kids and do the reading of the books. We have been all over the state, and we continue to do it when the good Lord allows us to get there. So please reach out. All right, let's get back to the word pause. So I think that in social media these days, we're seeing people react immediately based off of their emotions. And a lot of people's emotions are out of control. And
no doubt.
I go through these things in my head, and it's not a lot of things that I ever want to say in public, or even want to say alone in my room into the mirror. You know,
right.
Because you're going like, come on, Steve, breathe for a second, be compassionate, and look at both sides and take a breath. You know, so I'm getting a lot better at that. You got news that's on both sides of the fence. And I'm always on the side of common sense, compassion, empathy, but we got laws, and we need to not be breaking the laws as well. So I'd like to think that I'm a pretty good rule follower. So with all that said, tell me more about pause. What's going on in society now that people feel like that pause is not in their vocabulary?
Well, I think social media is the biggest culprit. I don't think there's any question that, and the problem with social media is that not only is it typically a knee-jerk reaction, but in many cases you're reacting to something and you have absolutely no idea what the context is behind it. You know, you don't know if it's a bot that's doing it, or if it's an actual person that's doing it, or if it's fake, or if it's real, or any of that kind of stuff. And so we just have these knee-jerk reactions that we're doing. And certainly the divisions that we see, especially in the country today, the divisions that we see across broad swaths of society, just fuel that in social media. And, you know, if people would just take that, you know, minute to pause before responding to it. And I'm certainly just as guilty as the next person. Like you said, you see that and you just want to immediately respond. And it takes a lot of, you know, willpower to say, no, I'm going to stop. I'm not going to respond right now. I'm going to, you know, best thing is to just turn the damn thing off. You know, because otherwise it just compounds itself, you know, and then you find out, you respond, and now all of a sudden all kinds of responses start happening. And I'm guessing that happens with you a lot. If you do a post about something, regarding your music or whatever the case may be, you're always going to have those that love you, and you're always going to have those that don't.
What?
And
wait, what? What's that?
Yeah.
These are, when you have a green light in life and love.
Yep.
I've got the green light like shooting. I don't remember missing it. I don't rember people not loving me. So what are you talking about? That hurts my heart.
Well, God bless you then.
Well, I'm definitely not the one that's going to go in and try to take one base, lose one base for the other.
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
like music and politics, man, it just makes no sense. Why do you even want to go there? Actors and all this. Yep. And I'm going like, look, okay, you can go there, but go there in a diplomatic way. Don't go there going like with such hate and such vengeance and fire. Yeah. And because I feel like, I've seen, I saw what happened back in the day with the Dixie Chicks and stuff. What she said during the time that she said it and where she said it and all that, I'm going like, what she said is like nothing compared to what everybody else is saying now.
Oh, yeah.
But back then it was a very delicate time in our country's history, and back then it just wasn't even done. You were investigated when you said anything bad. Now everybody's saying all this stuff, which you can't keep up with it.
Right.
There's no way to censor it because you'd be censoring all day and night.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
It's just really interesting where we've come from where we were, and I do think that we've lost a lot of our ability to pause, first of all. Yep. And to really think things through a little more. My father-in-law at Nabholz Construction, that company, it does $1 billion plus a year now. And he's the chairman emeritus, and he was the youngest of 12. And he grew up on a farm where they were working for him, his kids, with nothing. Sure. And they built this incredible business. The business is way bigger than the family name now because there's so many people employed all over. Sure. And but the family name is amazing. He's gotten so many awards, humanitarian awards. You name the award, the National Guard, they named it after him in Arkansas. The biggest business ones like Sam Walton, he's gotten awards that Sam Walton's got, and some of these guys, Joe Ford, remember at Augusta? Sure. Yeah. Joe Ford's gotten this award. There's been like 6 people, and there he is. There's something that's so relevant in our conversation that we're having, Mike, and that is he is the king of pause. He's the king of pause of every single thing that you're talking about during the day. He literally absorbs it. You watch him absorb it. Yep. He doesn't interrupt you. He takes a second or 2 or 30, and then when he speaks, it is so clear and it is so poignant and so prophetic, and you can't help but listen because he's taken a second or more than a second, a minute, sometimes longer. He's the king of pause. Yeah. As I think of that, and I think of the success he's had, I also think about what a very humble man he is, and the life that he's lived. And he could live it any way he chooses, but he's chosen that way because he knows how hard it was to get there. Yep. He hasn't forgotten. But pause, he's the king of pause. I'm telling you.
And I think, and you make a great point there. The other piece of pause is to listen. Yeah. And I've said this many times on your show before. The first line of the Rule of Benedict is listen with the ear of your heart. If you're listening with compassion and empathy and understanding, you're not listening with, okay, how am I going to react to this? And that's where the pause comes in. When we listen that way, we have to pause because we have to think about what it is that was just said, and then we determine how are we going to respond. But without the pause, we typically listen and then just spout off something.
Well, I said in the beginning, and I say this a lot, I'm learning to listen on this show, but if you probably do the time of what I've said on this show versus you, I'm winning, which means I'm losing as a listener. So I apologize to everybody that's listening going, Steve, you hadn't shut up yet. Why don't you take a breath? I get all worked up, but I can't help it. So when you bring these things up, there's so much that happens in my head, and it's got to be consolidated before it comes out of my stupid mouth, So anyway, no, but I love this thing, pause. It's really good for me because when I'm playing live, if I can rest my mind between songs and really tell the stories and pause for a second and not be in a hurry and lock myself in, it's when I'm my best. And when folks really are able to relate because even when I'm talking, there's moments of pause. Even during one sentence or a paragraph, there's your ability to think as you go. But pause comes to mind right now that there's a significant amount of that in between my songs when I'm talking.
Yeah. It's funny. I was surfing on, channels the other night, and I came across an old movie that Kevin Costner did called For the Love of the Game. And he was a pitcher for the Detroit Tigers, and he's at the end of his career, and he's in the process of throwing a perfect game. And I love and I can't remember exactly what he says, but as he goes to get ready to throw a pitch, I think it's like lock the mechanism or something that he thinks, and all of a sudden shuts everything off. Yeah. And he focuses on that.
The whole place gets quiet.
Yeah.
He hears nothing. It's the birthplace of America's music, where we have the Freedom Trail, the Writers Trail, the Country Music Trail, the Blues Trail. The markers are all over the place. Just jump on one marker, follow to the next. You'll be doing this for months and months and maybe years. I'm Steve Azar from Mike Farrell.
But I still believe. Say we're in cold water, but I do believe. We're in cold water, and I shall believe.
Up to $20,000 available for first-time home buyers. Hey folks, Steve Azar here. Helping is the heart of our friends at Guarantee Bank. They offer programs like the Home Buyer Equity Leverage Partnership Grant that can assist qualified first-time home buyers with up to $20,000 towards down payment and provide home ownership counseling to empower you on your journey. These funds are first come, first served. Learn more about this program and to apply now, go to gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, member FDIC.
Listen and watch all your favorite SuperTalk Mississippi shows live and on demand. Listen to tons of music. Plus, get the latest breaking news from across the state with the SuperTalk Mississippi app. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Download the SuperTalk app on your iPhone or Android device now for free. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi in your app store on your mobile device to get everything Mississippi all in one place. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Get it now. In a Mississippi Minute with Steve Azar, right here on SuperTalk Mississippi.
We're all alone in the river and I don't know whether I'm
Rocking into a Mississippi Minute. Mike, the Monk Guy Farrell. You can follow him. Go to themonkguy.com. Sign up for his Wednesday newsletters. And you won't regret it, man. It's a great reset during the middle of the week. I love getting them. I can't wait. First thing in the morning is part of my ritual on Wednesdays to make sure that I get absorb it and visit Mississippi.org, the birthplace of America's music. Plan a road trip. If you're in Mississippi, check out an area in Mississippi you hadn't been to in a while. You'll be blown away. We're very cool, by the way. All right. Mike the Monk Guy Farrell is my guest today. Like I said, Mike, let's get to this. You know, you and I are foodies. We love to cook.
Yep.
And here you are. From the principle of profound hospitality, I'm a foodie. This is from Mike, by the way. I love to cook, eat, and breathe food. I love that. I enjoy watching the Food Network. I used to love watching the Food Network more, Mike, when they had a lot more cooking shows on.
Right.
And one show you really enjoy is Restaurant Impossible, which I do love. Robert Irvine, great chef, goes in, turns around a restaurant in a couple days. Recent episode featured a soul food restaurant that was failing, and it was owned by Cheryl, is it Littlejohn?
Yep.
Who you had a chance to meet when she was a coach for the Minnesota Golden Gophers women's basketball team?
Yep.
All right, take me from there.
So Cheryl was the head coach of the Gophers basketball team. She starred at Tennessee, actually. I think she was an All-American at Tennessee when she played. And so I'm, doing the channel surfing thing, and usually wind up on the Food Network, and here it is. And so he's talking, so he has she's got this restaurant, I think it's in North Carolina, and the restaurant is failing miserably. She and her sister had bought the restaurant. They knew absolutely nothing about the restaurant business. And so Robert comes in, but the reason that she did it wasn't that she wanted to own a restaurant. She wanted to give these underprivileged kids an opportunity to learn how to work, to learn leadership lessons, to learn service lessons. So these kids were coming in and they were working.
She's continuing to coach.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And it was funny because as the episode went on, that's what he had to point out.
Yeah.
He had to point out that you're the coach. You shouldn't be trying to do all this stuff. You should be coaching people through it. And so the whole episode went to this transformation of her really getting back to coaching, only coaching in the restaurant business.
So she was probably coaching and being on the floor.
Exactly.
He was going, you can't play. You can only coach.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's not like the Ryder Cup where you can be a captain and a player.
Yeah. Well, Keegan Bradley, just skipping over for a second, might be both.
Right. I know. Yeah.
Playing some great golf. Okay. So keep going. So how does this show unfold?
So what happens is he comes in and, really walks her through. I mean, one of the biggest things is she didn't know any of her finances. So walking through the whole idea of food costs and labor costs and creating a menu where they were actually making money on the food, not losing money on it. And then they come in and they completely gut the restaurant and redo it and all that kind of stuff. And in the end, it turns out that, he gets her to buy into what she needs to do. And they relaunched the restaurant 2 days later, and big crowds. And I actually went back because I was curious, because I think this was an episode that was a little older. Mm-hmm. I actually went back, and as near as I can tell, they're still going, which is always a good testament to say, okay, they must have got it. They didn't, 6 months later after he was gone, they didn't run it into the ground. And
Is it still? What state is it in? Minnesota?
North Carolina.
Oh, it's in North Carolina.
I think she's from North Carolina, if I remember right.
They got good basketball players up in North Carolina. Yep. So she must have played. Did she play for Coach Summit, you think, back in the day?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she did, yeah.
Wow. Yep. Could you imagine being a student athlete back in the day playing for Pat Summit?
No kidding, yeah.
Talking about a formula.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, so you're going to be, if you're going to be a coach when you've learned, and that's been your mentor,
right,
you're going to be a heck of a basketball
player.
coach.
I mean, that's like playing under Krzyzewski or Dean Smith or, some of
John
these guys
Wooden,
that are
right,
coaching
Bobby
now.
Knight, right, exactly right.
Yeah.
I think that I would have rather have played, seriously. Everybody can say who they want or what they want, but I would have done anything to play for Bobby Knight.
Oh, yeah.
Just for him to throw the chair at me, I'd have been all. Because are you kidding me? Our coaches used to break stuff all over us all the time. I mean, I deserved it, but no. But seriously though, you think about what a great coach and man he was. He was really a great man. He get worked up,
right?
But he got worked up on the basketball court, and he got worked up at referees who deserved it. Let me just say that. I mean, what do I say? Why do they wear stripes? I know a lot of referees. I have a lot of friends who do it. And they're wonderful, wonderful, amazing people until they put the jail stripes on.
Yeah.
And then something happens to them, and they just go blank, and they make awful calls, and they're never the ones I want. So it can't be me, right? Can it be me?
How do you really feel, Steve?
All the referees, all my friends out there, and the ones that are listening to the show who haven't turned it off yet, I'm apologizing to you guys.
Yeah.
But, come on. Y'all get your
comments are coming into the station now.
I mean, come on. Like I was watching the, what baseball game in the World Series? There was a couple pitches that were vital. And I was a catcher growing up, and I saw the catcher take the glove and scoot it in just ever so slightly. And he calls them both strikes, and they were not even over the plate.
Right.
We got to see the benefit. I'm going, you can't call those when there's full count, and if the games are on the line to move on.
Right.
And I'm like, come on, give me a break. That's not even close to a strike. Catcher moved his glove.
Well, the worst thing that's happened now is all the networks have the little box there that shows the strike zone, and so we all get to be umpires.
Oh yeah. I mean, come on, that's crazy. Have you seen banana baseball, the banana thing?
I haven't seen the Savannah Bananas. No. I've read about them, but I haven't seen it.
It's the most fun baseball. It's the Globetrotters playing baseball.
Right. Yeah.
Really great athletes like the Globetrotters were, great basketball players. But I'm telling you, I have never been so happy watching a sport on TV. I mean, they are having so much fun. And whoever thought of this, they're brilliant. But it's they're selling out everywhere they go now. And the crowd is so involved. And, professional sports should take a little bit of this just to have fun. You know, hockey, the game of hockey, when Nashville got the Predators, the most fun at a game we had ever been to, bar none, basketball, football, whatever, was hockey. Then they had stuff going on between breaks all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Bands playing in the stands and all this stuff on the ice, people doing stuff all the time. I mean, they were the king of it and still are.
Right. I remember the St. Paul Saints when they started. You know, Mike Veck, was one of the owners, son of Bill Veck, and, was the carnival atmosphere of the St. Paul Saints, and it was the same thing. You'd go to those games. I mean, you'd have a pig bringing out the ball to the pitcher in between innings and all kinds of crazy stuff going on, and that was 20 years ago, so.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
What's been on your plan today? Like, take us through the life of Mike the Monk Guy Farrell when you're doing your gig, and I'm not bothering.
Well, today's a little unusual, and I shouldn't say unusual, but today I actually, when we're done, I actually get to go spend a couple hours with my grandkids at the pool today. So, so
you're gonna get a tan at 90 degrees. You're gonna get
then I'll come back and work this afternoon and get to see you a little later this afternoon. So that's today. Typically I'm doing either strategy or coaching sessions with clients, either via Zoom or in person. I'm writing, I'm helping, my clients work through strategy sessions and those kinds of things. So that's a typical day is what I work on.
Yeah, because you go see them and then you never leave them. You're there to be with them during the year, even remotely, which is going on a lot. Let's take a quick break. Mike the Monk Guy Farrell, go to themonkguy.com, follow his newsletter, follow him, sign up, get your Wednesday newsletter, reset your week every time like I do. Visit Mississippi.org. Come on, man. We are the birthplace of America's music. That says it all. The whole world has been inspired. The whole world. The Beatles. Come on, Clapton. The Stones. I mean, hey, they're nothing without the Mississippi Delta and Mississippi. I said it. I'm Steve Azar. We'll be right back.
$20,000 available for first-time home buyers. Hey folks, Steve Azar here. Helping is the heart of our friends at Guarantee Bank. They offer programs like the Home Buyer Equity Leverage Partnership Grant that can assist qualified first-time home buyers with up to $20,000 towards down payment and provide home ownership counseling to empower you on your journey. These funds are first come, first served. Learn more about this program and to apply now, go to gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, member FDIC.
Listen and watch all your favorite SuperTalk Mississippi shows live and on demand. Listen to tons of music. Plus, get the latest breaking news from across the state with the SuperTalk Mississippi app. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Download the SuperTalk app on your iPhone or Android device now for free. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi in your app store on your mobile device to get everything Mississippi all in one place. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Get it now.
Driving this 75 Cadillac,
I may have just gotten in trouble there, but it's a fact because Paul McCartney said it or somebody said it. I can tell you. So did Mick Jagger. So did Eric Clapton. They know the influence that the Mississippi Delta had on their lives and their careers and continues to. And obviously Elvis, the Beatles seeing Elvis, that was a game changer. So that's Mississippi. The Stones with Muddy Waters. This list goes on and on. And we don't even talk about Jimmy Rogers up in Meridian, Mississippi, the father of country music. I mean, we've got the father of this, the king of that, and that makes us pretty special. Appreciate your Mississippi. When people are making their way and making music these days and they're new to it and they're finding their way to become the next version of Mississippi artists, just take the time to stop and listen to them and make them feel good about where they're headed. There's a lot of prospects and a lot of young talent that's going to continue to change the world of music that are born and raised here in Mississippi. That's all about visit Mississippi.org. Superior Catfish, I love you guys. All right, here we go. So Mike, the Monk Guy Farrell, is my guest today for the 12th time. I don't really prepare as much as I like to dig into his newsletters. We are working on something that this has been a process. It's been a process.
Yep.
And now as we start to tear it down, we were at Pearl River Resort really banging through it. Me, you, and Randy Harrington, and the power of a song, and using it in the workforce. Can you better explain before I screw this up? And our podcast. Right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're going to be doing later this afternoon is recording another episode of the podcast called Resonance, and it'll be out there available very shortly. But really, the idea is taking creativity, taking listening, creativity, and transformation through the power of song, and really giving a very unique approach to leadership through that, and really understanding what that means from a standpoint of how we listen as leaders, how we create as leaders, how we transform and manage change as leaders, and how the power of music and the power of song can help them do that. And it's really a really cool approach that, you and I and Randy spent the better part of 2 days down there at Dancing Rabbit kind of working through what that might look like. And so not only will we have the podcast, but we're going to be able to go out and work with businesses and organizations and associations and all that kind of stuff doing that. And it's pretty cool. There is nothing else like it that I've seen anywhere when it comes to leadership development.
How important is creativity in business?
Well, creativity is essential. It's interesting when we think about entrepreneurship. If you want to take it from a biblical perspective, okay, I've got a great friend, Andreas Widmer, who was a Swiss Guard for Pope John Paul II, a very successful entrepreneur, leads the Bush School of Entrepreneurship at Catholic University of America. And Andreas talks about this idea of creativity, of creating, all the way from the book of Genesis, and how God created everything that he created. It was an entrepreneurial pursuit in creating everything that we did. And if you think about it from a standpoint of once he created man, then it was our responsibility to take care of it and to continue to grow it and build it and that kind of thing. And so he's got a really, really cool approach to how he talks about creativity. But without creativity, there's no innovation. And without innovation, there's no business.
The thing about getting wiser and a little older in the business is you can use that word pause. I can book in the show with that because I can pause and let it come to me now rather than me go to the song.
Right.
The song can literally come to me and it makes it way easier. It writes itself.
Yep.
And because I can afford to do that now, maybe that's been the biggest thing. But maybe I've learned to be more patient with the song,
Yep.
So it's been interesting, but using it in the business with business principles, I'm really excited about what you and me and Randy, the podcast, folks, is going to be called Resonance, and it won't be long. Maybe by the time this interview airs, you can maybe go check it out on your podcast forums. It may be out already. So it's going to be a close in that regard. Mike, you got a filing cabinet back there. Is there any files in that thing?
Oh, that thing is loaded.
I mean, that's like 1968. What's going on back there?
That is actually from my father's office.
What'd I tell you?
Yeah, I think he had it in his office probably back in the 70s. And, you know, when we started cleaning out, their house and their office and everything, I thought, you know what, that's one thing that, you know,
you wanted to keep.
Kind of remind me of him. And so, yeah.
You got
a
drawer.
One of those file cabinets that, you know, would survive a nuclear holocaust.
Oh, yeah.
So.
I can see it's that gray, silvery looking. I would have like 2 of those drawers would be full of candy, but that's me. You know, instead of files. We got to go on that one. Mike, I can't thank you enough as always.
My pleasure as always, Steve. Yeah.
Mike Farrell, Mike the Monk Guy Farrell. Check him out. TheMonkGuy.com. Visit Mississippi.org. Love you guys.
I'm Steve Azar. In a Mississippi Minute, all 60 of them, where you can take your sweet time.
Listen and watch all your favorite SuperTalk Mississippi shows live and on demand. Listen to tons of music. Plus, get the latest breaking news from across the state with the SuperTalk Mississippi app. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Download the SuperTalk app on your iPhone or Android device now for free. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi in your app store on your mobile device to get everything Mississippi all in one place. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Get it now. You're listening. A SuperTalk Mississippi Media production.